Let's go. Let's go.
What is up, everybody? It is Friday, April 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in sunny Florida. I hope that all of you are having a wonderful day and enjoying the fact that Bitcoin is sucking less at the moment than it's been sucking recently. It's a good thing. We have obviously the options expiration narrative that everyone loves. It seems that actually for the past few months, we've seen local lows kind of heading into the expiration. Deribit expired this morning and price was, I think, around 54,000. And then the CME, which is supposed to be the one that everybody talks about, but is far less volume than Deribit, expired at 4 p.m. in London, and price was 56 and has also risen since then. I don't care about options expiry. It might be a coincidence. I think it's one of those things now where we've made this self-fulfilling prophecy because options are such a small percentage of the market that it doesn't really make sense with the size of the options bets for people to suppress it that aggressively and take the risk on spot. But hey, man, whatever. But Bitcoin's looking pretty good. So I figured I would take a look today at the top 10 coins by market cap, excluding Tether, which means Litecoin, which now is not in the top 10. Crazy. Gets to slide in the 11th position. Before we get started, I have to tell you to subscribe and smash the thing with the like people and do the thumbs when you get your hands and you use your elbow and you hit return and the thing on the mouse and it makes you like the video because then it makes the algorithm go crazy and we can set the record for all the likes on the videos. And if you do the hearts, then we can be friends and who cares? I don't care. I have to say it. If you don't say it, then you're not official on YouTube. I've seen on Twitter of late that people are going to be fighting each other in Dubai. Seems like it won't really happen, but that's the thing going around Twitter is they're setting up all these fights between crypto Twitter people for charity. Not for me, but that's seems like the funniest thing that could ever happen ever. So I would definitely show up to that live stream. Have you guys seen about that? Pretty crazy. So anyways, yeah, let's just take a look at the charts starting with the corn first here. Let's see what we got here. Here are the top 10. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, XRP, Tether. Not a very exciting chart. Cardano, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Uniswap, Bitcoin Cash. Why? Why do we hate fun and unicorns and puppies and ice cream? Bitcoin Cash. Litecoin. I'll tell you guys a very funny story before we get started. So we had this sort of controversy on my team. I looked at my schedule and it said I was interviewing Roger Ver this week because I usually get the guests, but we do have a team that will sometimes get guests when they think it's appropriate. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not big for censorship. I'll talk to anyone, but I didn't really feel like arguing the merits of Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. But regardless, he ended up canceling before we even had the conversation. And he sent my guy who handles some of the scheduling and stuff. He sent him a $5 tip with Bitcoin Cash and was like, here you go for your trouble. He sent the dude $5. It was like, Bitcoin could never do this. I'm taking a break and I'm not doing interviews for the next year, but here's $5 in Bitcoin Cash. So he's $5 richer in Bitcoin Cash now, which I guess is cool. And I will not be interviewing Roger Ver, but I do have some sick interviews coming up. We're working on Gary Vaynerchuk. I have CZ coming. I mean, just the craziest lineup of interviews. Honestly, we're working on probably having Diplo on the podcast, Steve Aoki, a lot of the old DJ people who now are into NFTs and stuff that I can talk to. But the podcast is absolutely exploding. It's been awesome, man. And that is the greatest job in the world, podcasting. It's hey, I'm nobody, but since I can put you on fake TV, will you talk to me for an hour? And then someone's like, yeah, I'll talk to you for an hour. You shouldn't talk to me. I don't have anything to offer. But yeah, here we go. Let's start with Bitcoin. All right. So I have an inverse head and shoulders first. This is a really strong move. Let me start on the daily, actually. Just gives it kind of a different view. Yeah, looking here at the daily, you can see I talked about you always get this 50% bounce, right? So we knew that we were going to have resistance here in this supply area, hitting right into this and then dropped. And this is kind of an ugly pattern, actually. Like if this was more at a top, that looks like an evening star, but clearly not to be. Doesn't matter. What are you going to do? Never seems to play out. But you can't really see maybe, but the 50 MA is right in here, this blue line. The daily 50, strong resistance. Look, this is 1, 2, 3 rejections there right after a support. And like Bitcoin really doesn't lose the 50 MA for long. So this is really an anomaly. And all these retraces we've had this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them were above the 50 and 2 of them tested it. So losing it was like, I guess, a slight concern. But you got to go all the way back to here, and that took a full about a month to get back above, but didn't even drop very far below. So we really want to be back above that. And currently that's exactly where we've stopped, and almost to the golden pocket here. But everything from 50 to 65% is strong resistance, and this is a strong supply. So it's meaningful. I would like to see a push above like 56,920 to close the day. But zooming into the 4-hour, you can see we have this nice inverse head and shoulders, which is a reversal pattern, not a continuation pattern. So it counts because this is coming out of a downtrend. But you can see strong volume in the left shoulder, strong volume in the head, and a strong volume on the breakout. That's what you want to see on an inverse head and shoulders. And an inverse head and shoulders is not confirmed until this line is broken, the neckline between the two shoulders. That's the high of the right shoulder. That's the high of the left shoulder, right? And there's a tool you can use to actually draw head and shoulders. It's just kind of ugly, so I rarely use it, but it would be something like this. To give you guys an idea, we can just draw it here. It doesn't matter, but so you have that neckline lines up. We pull this up, doesn't whatever. So yeah, that's the tool. And you'll see that on this little dip stick that we have today, also that we got rejected at the 200 MA on the 4-hour, which we lost all the way over here. And rarely lose for long, but has acted as strong support. So we've been under that for a lot longer than we have in a long time, right? There's a pretty clear inverse head and shoulders here with the volume profile that confirms it, which is those spikes in each of the places. This is the one that matters. When you break out of an inverse head and shoulders, you need to see volume increase, and we did. And it's perfectly retesting the neckline here. So if you trade classical patterns, this is your entry, 56,296, anywhere here. And your target is the depth of the pattern. So we'll call it here to here. Here. So the target of this is 66,948, 67,000. That's the target of the move that we just confirmed, and that is confirmed on the 4-hour. It has a break and retest. Still, a lot of resistance here, so hard to get excited about that. But we also have this descending line, 1, 2, 3 perfect touches, strong break on the same volume. That was a big move. This move should not be underestimated because it broke this resistance and this resistance on strong volume, and it's also a Morobozu candle. Morobozu candle, kind of. Okay, so technically one of those candles has no wick top and bottom, which means, that you opened at the lows and closed at the highs. Extremely bullish. This is really close, but technically with these little wicks, it does not count. It's a rare candle, but this is still an extremely bullish candle. I mean, it basically only went up for that entirety of that 4-hour period. So I would say that very little to worry about on Bitcoin right now, honestly. Anything can happen, but if you're zoomed in and you're charting these patterns, bounced off the 50 MA, breakout from 2 key resistances on volume right after the expiration, expiry, and a retest. So not really worried about Bitcoin right now. Zooming in on the hourly, that's a retest to the penny. To the penny. Pretty good. I'm just going to come back over to the chat, see what's popping over here. I'm going to look at a lot of these. A dipstick, you take the dip it, dipstick. So you guys remember, they probably still make them, but it's really disgusting when you think about it. The cheese and crackers with the little like red plastic scoop, and it was like basically like processed fake cheese, like string cheese kind of vibe, and then you did it again. I mean, the snacks we had as kids are so disgusting. String cheese, like who wants cheese in an aerosol bottle? Who came up with that? And how did that become a thing? Disgusting. That's disgusting. Not string cheese. It's called air cheese. What did we call it at that time? String cheese is the peeling cheese, the fingers that all the losers that keep selling their Bitcoin have. That's string cheese. It's like, but yeah, I guess it's a cheese-like product. I mean, that's right. Somebody just said that. Easy cheese. Easy cheese. You win $1, crypto rich. Easy cheese. No, not Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz is still delicious, even though it's utterly disgusting when you think about it. But like, you can't have a Pat's or Geno's cheesesteak without Cheese Whiz. But yeah, it's basically like Cheese Whiz that sprays. I didn't really mean losers. I just meant like people that aren't winners. That was cold. Winners hodl. You sell your Bitcoin whenever you need to. Honestly, it doesn't matter. But if you're an investor and you're selling your Bitcoin, you're like, oh my God, like Bitcoin's going to 1 million, but it's down $5,000. Sell. Spaghetti, string cheese, lettuce, shredded tomato, fingers. Your fingers don't work. But I do wonder sometimes how people make it through the day. Like, it's like, how do you even drive your car if your fingers won't hold the wheel? And do you do it with your wrists? I don't even know. Yes, those are records in the background. For those of you that don't know, I was a disc jockey, a jockey of discs for 2 decades. Meaning that I was DJing probably for your moms because you're young and I am an old person. Let us look at Ethereum. But yes, I had to use actual records for like the first 10 years of my DJing career. First 10 years. Ethereum still looks absolutely ridiculous. It took a little hit today against Bitcoin. You can see here on the daily, little dip. I'd buy it probably around here. Listen, if Bitcoin rips, like really rips now, alts aren't going to like it, but we know they catch up. So I wouldn't be like noodle fingering your alts right now. Like, did you panic out of alts into Bitcoin today because it went up like a few percent? God help you. So listen, Ethereum looks ridiculous. Macro breakout, also an inverse head and shoulders, retest of this line heading up. So yeah, I would say, right here and right here, your entries if it dips, but I think that this is going to go to the highs eventually. I think Ethereum's going to like $10, $15, $20,000 this year. I'm an optimist. Maximalists, Bitcoin maximalists hate when I say that. Why do you hate Ethereum so much? Be friends. And I mean, on the USD pair, we had this breakout. Still haven't hit the $3,600 target, which I think is the target, and just keep flipping levels. I mean, every day it's made an all-time high, right? Looks good. And, if Bitcoin does well, at least the USD pair should continue to thrive, at least marginally. Coming back to look at your comments. Play some Clan Eater. You know what? I will find, you guys don't know this, but I can find it. It's not what you're here for. I'll do it later. But I don't know if you guys, before the NFT boom, I did an NFT of one of my old tracks with that artist named Oksara. And it was 8 parts of the song taken apart, but I never shared the whole thing together. But I have the video somewhere on my computer. I can probably share it at the end. Stick around. I will share that at the end. We can watch it together. Next by market cap is Binance Coin. That's crazy that BNB is third. I mean, guys, this thing is so ridiculously bullish. It's ridiculous. All it does is break resistance and go up. If you were with the newsletter, this was the entry here. On the break of this, we had one here, and now we had a beautiful cup and handle, breakout, retest, and move up. So yeah, the last few hours have been a little tough, but this is actually zooming in. So I think this is going to 1,000, but look at that. Look at that. This is where people are panic selling, and this is where Giga Chads are buying to the sat that flipped resistance to support. When you have strong hands that are made of cinder blocks, you don't sell here, you buy. But when the flop noodles come in, somebody was selling this right here, and they were like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die! It's going to zero. I'm poor again." And BNB, I made a whole video about this. We had this massive pennant breakout, hit its target here in red on 600, and then we have a new pennant with a target of $1,000, 994-ish. You can see it here if you start the flagpole here, pennant. Now, some people, if you don't agree that it's a bull pennant, you basically, what you do is you do this. The same. Some people will say it's the depth here or whatever. So you get a target of like $810 based on that. It's another way to find a target. A lot of ways. I keep it simple, but yeah, this would be the other way to find a target. Some people say, the depth of the pattern, the depth of the triangle. That still gives us $800. Would anybody here be upset if it only went to 800 instead of making it to 1,000? But I think it's going to 1,000 and beyond. BNB is chat. All these charts look pretty good. All of these charts look pretty good. Next, we have everybody's favorite coin and company, XRP. The crowd goes wild. Actually, it's probably crickets. Dead crickets. There's still people that are really in love with XRP, though, and I applaud you. Like, the guy who's kind of like handsome and nice and has money, who has stuck by XRP this long, that's the guy I probably want objectively to marry my daughter. Because that guy is not going anywhere. That is love. That is love. That guy is not going anywhere. I mean, if you stuck by XRP this whole time, man, I gotta do something really quick. I gotta send a tweet that says I'm live. Forgot to do that. And maybe some people will show up. Look, I just did it. You guys just watched me tweet for the first time live in history. I did it. XRPP. So yeah, I mean, this looks like it's cup and handling too, to be quite honest. This looks pretty good. I think that this will go. I mean, this breakout should still be heading all the way back to these highs, right? So we still have this target up here for this move, but this looks like a cup and handle. It does. It went a little hard for the rounding for my taste, but you get like this thing where you go, That's actually a bull flag, but it's more fun to draw it like that. And then you get steam coming out of it. It's hot. It's a hot beverage for a hot mess of a coin. Would you let an XRP maxi marry your daughter? I want to hear your opinion. I want to know. I want to know. See, this guy loves XRP. Crypto Joe loves XRP. And I have nothing against XRP. But I'm just saying, if you stuck with it through all the FUD and SEC and Brad and dumping on you, the problem is that the guy who stuck by XRP this long is also the guy that lets his girlfriend beat him up and comes back. Because that's what they did. But XRP looks good on the Bitcoin pair. You got to be a glutton for punishment. Kind of have that 50 Shades masochism thing going on if you stuck with it. Every time it got good, you watch the company just send those coins from the treasury and just dump on you. And you were like, this time it's different. And you know why this time it actually is different? Because the SEC is watching them and they can't send coins to the exchanges to dump on you. So this is what happens. Can't do it anymore. No big mystery. Seems obvious. Seems obvious. But hey, man, make your money on XRP. Look at this volume. Look at this weekly volume. It's crazy. This is how much people hated XRP for a couple years, over a year. This is how much they like it now. It's interesting stuff. Interesting, compelling stuff. You can see all the weekly levels here. Maybe we zoom into the daily. You clearly had a consolidation here and a breakup on volume, right? So this would have looked like this. It's looking back now, so it's useless. And now look at how it flipped that weekly level. You should be heading up here. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This looks bullish as shit. I don't want to say it, but it does. I think this should continue up to the highs. $3. Why not? Why not? But if you can, I would bid. If you want XRP, I would bid here no matter what. Whether you think it's going up or not, this is a really big level with this and this that's been not been tested. So like this might have been the front run of it right here, but like it would be pretty savage to catch it there. I would bid that just in case, like if you just have some spare Bitcoin laying around, money. Next by market cap should be Cardano. I like Cardano. I don't want to hear it. The guy on your show said that it was a scam, which means you said it was a scam. Not a scam. I do not believe Cardano is a scam. I believe it's excellent, an excellent project with amazing people who are all handsome and have girlfriends and play the drums really well and have nunchuck skills. They're awesome. Every one of them. But that's not great. Okay. This still has a very strong ascending triangle vibe now, though. I mean, I would catch it here if you could, but the real trade, I would say now on Cardano against Bitcoin is you want to do this. You need to close up here, not just wick like that. You got to close. You have to have strong finish, like bull. And then, when you have a close up here, you bid this all around it, not right on the line. You bid here and here and a little here and a little here. You put your stops down here. It's your support. And you would have gotten swept if you had put your stops below support last time. It happens to the best of us. And you're targeting here. So this is your move. Oh, that looks like a guy in a wheelchair, kind of, right? Sort of. Artist. Let's see what ADA looked like against the United States dollar. Looks good. Last live stream posted that line, said, hey, maybe you want to buy it if it breaks that. You'd be up like 6 cents. And you can tip me because I made you so much money. Yeah, I think this should go to the range highs. So I'd just be targeting 148 now and see what happens. But just like we talked about, right? I mean, swept the highs, swept the lows. You need to be above this. The real convincing trade on this is this. Again, I know it's repetitive, guys, but that's what you want to do when you're ranging. Got a chance here when it broke the EQ to target here. Once you break above here, you target here again as support. You might miss it. It happens. But this entire thing is sideways chop. You can trade it, but that's not, you really want definitive action above or below. So when you zoom out, this is pretty tight when you see all that, But listen, above this, it's in price discovery again. That's where you want to be. Searching for new all-time highs. Until then, got a lot of resistance up ahead. Be careful. Coming back over here. Don't forget to hit the like button, friends. Thank you, Lucas. Your check is in the mail. Wait, that's not. I was trying to find a comment here. He said, I want to trade crypto, but got confused by the fluctuations in price. Troy, the answer to that is don't trade it. Don't worry about the fluctuations. Dollar cost average, buy some, get comfortable with it, buy dips, and don't think about it. Just invest what you can afford to lose. Don't even worry about it, man. No need to trade it. Nobody needs to trade it. Doge is next. Let's look at it. Doge, moving on up. People are still excited about Doge. It kind of amazes me. Really excited about Doge. First, the Doge Bitcoin chart, because listen, we used to look at it like this and be like, this is the most absurd chart, right? This was the first. No, this was my first Doge. No. Yeah, this was my first Doge pump. I'll never forget. Never forget it. Chris actually, this was the one he got me on, but I caught this. Didn't know about the Doge pumps really, but I entered here. I probably sold 100 to 130 sats and went all the way to 188. This is really what got me addicted to crypto trading, Doge. And then I was like, oh shit, it went all the way down. And Chris from Texas West Capital, who's my mentor, and you can read about him in the description. I think it's in there. Who probably just got done live streaming himself. I watched most of that. He said, I'll never forget. He had a Trello group. It was the first paid group I joined. I joined his paid group. And it said, and the title of the Trello card with the setup was, do you want to get rich? This is how you get rich. And he explained the Doge cycle where he said, every time it drops, you just bid these whole areas and you buy some. And then eventually it's going to pump. So I did that again here and went from 15 to 100. And then we did it again here and like whatever. Oh, to see this chart now, it's fucking absurd because I never really thought that it would pump above like 200 again. But this was a normal Doge cycle that when, Elon Musk and Gene Simmons start talking about it, this is what you get. You get Doge on meth. So there's no point looking at the Bitcoin chart because it's in price discovery, above here and whatever. Look at that savage candle. That's the Darth Maul of all Darth Mauls. But yeah, here we are against dollar. And, we had it last week and I said, you buy a flip of this 28 cents. It did that. I drew this line. I said 1, 2, 3 resistance. We were somewhere in here. So that was your move. Now you need to not buy right in resistance again. Although, you know what? I don't even think that line really matters. It's fine. It's fine. But this is another cup and handle looking situation. So maybe it does this, it comes here, it goes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, I just can't get there with Doge. I just can't. It's not worth 33 cents to me, even though I think it's worth $1 million in my heart because I love Doge so much. But like Doge should be like a penny and it's fun, So I can't trade it, but this does look good. I mean, that might be your line now. I just can't believe that Doge is number 7 by market cap. 6 if you throw out the tethers. I mean, what the fuck? Why? Why? I'm going back to check out your yeah. So those made me rich. So did oh man, I remember those Monocoin pumps back in the day were epic. Dude, Charles Hoskinson has to be good with nunchucks. Look at that guy. Born Chad. It's like he probably does the one where it's like, and then they cross and they, I don't know. I'm sure he has great nunchuck skills. I like that guy, man. I feel bad. They like, the whole thing. I feel bad. Like I admit when I feel bad, I felt bad. Like I didn't mean for people to think that ADA was a scam. It's not a scam. That's a dumb thing to say. Anyone who knows me knows that like nobody hates like crypto tribalism more than me. I make fun of it. I take like the heat from the from the Bitcoin maximalists for saying it, but like tribalism is stupid. So stupid. I get it. It's human nature, and I get humans, we're just great apes. One step on the evolutionary chain away from, using our hands to scratch the inside of our butts. But tribalism, in every form, it makes no sense and it's dumb, and especially in crypto because a rising tide truly lifts all boats in this space. Yes, Doge is worth more than Ford. The cars that have been around for 100 years. Whatever. This seems like a personal problem. Like I really like Matic, but you might need a psychiatrist. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We went all the way past like the other parts of human evolution to the point where we ate so much pasta that our hands turned to spaghetti. Can you imagine if like in 200, I would say 200,000 years, where we all know that we won't exist on this planet, but if all humans evolved to have spaghetti hands and like it was like endless regenerating spaghetti, so you could just eat your hands all the time, that would be tight. And this is true. Doge has done, you want to talk about a rising tide lifting all boats. Doge has brought incredible attention to this space. So I obviously, like, I've done a lot of podcasts. So like, yeah, Doge is funny. It's whatever, but there's a hell of a lot of people now who are talking about crypto because of Doge. They don't get it, but it's still pretty cool. I talked to all these, I had Catherine Coley, who no longer is the CEO of Binance US, which I hate. She's so awesome. But, and I was like, this is in January. And she was like, in January, we saw more signups than we saw in 2020, right? And in February, more than January. And it was whatever. And she's like, a huge part of it is Robinhood and like people getting into trading and crypto's exploding. But she was like, really the biggest question we get is like, do you guys have Doge? So like all these exchanges that are so overloaded and their customer service can't handle it, whatever, a lot of that is because of Doge. A lot of that is because of Doge. Nothing's wrong with Matic. It's amazing. He said that Matic touches him. Nobody should be touched unwittingly. I don't want to be touched by a coin or a project. It's not a thing that we desire in this life. Wife's texting me. Cool. It's great. She's not here. DOT still looks fine. I mean, this was the entry that I posted. You might have gotten stopped out if you were through there and had a tight stop, but it looks fine, but it's just kind of getting pwned by Bitcoin at the moment. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, Bitcoin's bouncing exactly from that spot. That's a hell of a trade right there if you're in it. But .USD looks great. Broke this resistance. You could even draw it here, right? And say the consolidated. I actually like that. That's really where it is. So, that's targeting $38. It's not even a 10% move from here. But this looks like, if you zoom in, on this, you're going to have something like this, obviously. Perfect. Look at that. Down, up, down, up. So if you're one of those in it for the USDT and not the Bitcoin types, because right now I don't see why, I like to trade alts to make Bitcoin mostly. But, this targeting $40. Nice move. That's a confirmed channel. 2 up, 2 down. And not only 2 up, 2 down, alternating. Listen, we all cheat on our patterns and the rules, but technically it's not a bull flag unless you have down, up, or up, down, up, down. You have to have alternating. And this is what you want, right? Because you hit the top, consolidate in the top half, and then break out. So you're looking for a move like this on DOT, like whatever, and then it probably comes here and maybe it goes there. And then you have a swan. That looks really good, actually. Broke this, making this little pattern. Would be, I'll tell you what would be a god tier entry here. So if this did this instead. Because that could happen because, just like that. Still inside the pattern. That'd be sweet. But more than likely, that line was not the one that mattered. This is why. Right? So that's pretty perfect. I like DOT a lot here. I like DOT a lot. I like you a lot. So you're saying there's a chance. Swanson, I was way off. How many quotes do you know from Dumb and Dumber? Let's see them. I want to hit me with your best Dumb and Dumber quotes in the chat. What was all that 1 in a million talk? I want to see it. He has really made a good name for himself. Jim Carrey. What's my UTC? I don't know. I'm down with OPP. I'm in the I'm in the Eastern United States. It's 2:35 p.m. here. I don't know what my UTC is. I'm American. We don't use that language. We don't do metric systems and that. Yeah, look at the ass on that one. Yeah, he must work out. Samsonite. Mary Samsonite. Yeah, these are great. Mock. Yeah. Ing. Yeah. Bird. Yeah. 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 Mockingbird. Tell me, have you heard? Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is one of the greatest movies of all time. Kick his ass, Seabass. Okay. Sorry, we keep going. Just go, man. This is warm. This movie's so good. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. All right. Uni. Looks like it pretty much hit resistance right up here, don't it? In it. Hit resistance in it. Big old wedge. You really want to see it break the top of that. And look at that. If you count that. Look at that. You got to get above that or Uni is donezo. It's not really, but like you got to get above that. That is a potential bearish SFP from the all-time high in September of 20 when this hit. I'm not worried about the wedge. Bullish coins destroy ascending wedges to the upside on the regular, but you want to get above this before you trade it now, or two areas you can play it if you're a dip sticker. If you like to grab a dip or put it on your mouth, never understood tobacco, chewing it. Like there's athletes that do that like while doing sports. It's an argument against baseball as a sport. I stopped at golf is not a sport, but baseball is a sport. I'm there. But like if you can actively chew tobacco while playing, it's a little crazy. In there or off this line, you know? But I really want to get it above here. That's what I want on Uni. That's BTC. Looks a little better here. Yeah, buy it here. If you don't get it there, buy it there, you know? If not, buy it there. Always have a few approaches if you're bullish and you want to buy something. Because if you miss it, if it doesn't come down like that was it, then the next entry is, you know, buying it above the highs. I don't even think this line matters that much. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. This line is estupido. Yeah. I mean, these all look fine. A lot better than they did on Wednesday. And then Thursday was good when Wednesday looked bad. So if today looks pretty good, tomorrow will probably be Les Mis. Look at that. Bitcoin. Chad. Okay, Bitcoin Cash. I don't know, man. I could probably get you $5 worth. I would not touch this now until a break of this. That's it. Break of that line. And then Bitcoin Cash. That's been there since 18. This is it. Like ETH, like, you know, ETH like broke its macro resistance since the highs, 2017. If it gets there, I would buy it if I were a person who would buy it, but I wouldn't buy it because fuck Bitcoin Cash. God. It's the real Bitcoin. Well, this is your chart versus Bitcoin. It looks like it got beat up by the real Bitcoin. But let's look at it against the United Statesy dollar. That's pretty good. Still not even into price discovery, though. I don't know what all this trash is. Let's go on the weekly. It's one big ass rounding bottom, to be honest with you. That could eventually really go up based on this. It's pretty nice rounding bottom, but you don't want the entire history of your coin for 3 years to be a rounding bottom, really. But let's just draw some levels here. And if that mockingbird don't sing, he's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Mock, yeah. Ing, yeah. Bird, yeah. These are IOUs. They're as good as real money. I mean, looks like it kind of bounced at 773. Just don't want to like this chart. Don't want to. My emotions, my mind's telling me no, but my money is telling me yes. That's what R. Kelly actually sang. Every R. Kelly song, when you look back, is an open admission and literal story about molesting young girls. It's pretty remarkable. It's pretty remarkable. Yes, I've always kind of talked about my balance. In general, I try to keep it at 70% long-term hold, 15% cash, which now is USDC for interest, and 15% for trading. I believe I can fly. That song is not about young girls, but it could be. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about what Elon Musk is going to say on SNL. So funny that would move price if he said the word Doge, but it would. I mean, I think this bounced here. Now you want to get above 1209 and target 1843. This looks good. I mean, I can't lie to you. I mean, this is, rounding out. Everything looks pretty good. So they're probably crashed. I love Litecoin here. I love it. I love it. Look at Ethereum, Bitcoin catching that retest. Litecoin. Now this is not the breakout like it is on that one, but this is going back before 2020. Break, retest, pump maybe? Pump me maybe. Hey, I just met you. Got Charlie Lee coming on the show. That's one of the people that I'm having. Charlie Lee is also a co-investor of mine in a pretty big thing that I can't, I guess, talk about because I just said who else was involved besides myself. But yeah, Charlie Lee. Just looking at Litecoin USD here, we know how Litecoin Bitcoin looks, bananas. And Litecoin USD, it broke out here. This is what I said. I drew this when it was here. It's doing that. Now it's flipping this high, another sort of cup and handle kind of vibe. Think that this is heading to $370 post haste. And we had an equivalent target. We were already almost there, but it was like 360 on this pennant breakout. So yeah, Litecoin looks freaking great. And this is Coinbase, which went down again. I can't stop buying it. I don't even know why I have the Coinbase chart pulled up. Y'all don't want to see that. It's irrelevant. All right, that was all of the charts I currently had planned. I'm going to come over into the chat. Isn't Doge? Yeah, Doge at number 7 market cap. It's stupid. But crypto is stupid, and that's what's amazing about it. Doge is the dumbest thing in the world, and that's why we love it. But yes, it's not great. It shouldn't be worth more than Ford. Should not be worth more than Ford. I'm just trying to. You're welcome. How can I make millions without doing anything? You see, that's the problem is people come here and they think they can just make millions overnight and they don't realize they can just start an OnlyFans page. Yes, I am a startup investor. I'm invested in many startups. Thanks. I'm trying to make a Moonbag liquid USD for trading at any time. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. But yes, my approach, I've talked about this before, don't know. When I trade like altcoins or something, I have my trading, portfolio. And when the market's really good, like it looks alt season, I'll go way above 15%. So risk management is not just, hey man, I'm gonna risk 1% per trade. Risk management is also knowing when to go heavy and when to sit on your hands completely. So there are times I'm 30% in cash and not trading anything. There are times I'm more in Bitcoin. But when it's like the last few months, like I've been way over 15% in like trades or altcoin investments or long, swing trades or whatever. But like I scale out And when I get down to like 20% of the position and I've made like insane amount of money, that goes into my long-term holds and I just don't touch it or watch it. So the moon bag for me is like the last 10 to 20% that I never sold on the way up. That's how I approach it. I don't like to try to call the top of anything, but I don't think we've seen any signal that this is ending personally. There's no blow off top volume with a huge like wick up on the monthly or anything insane like that. I think it's fine. No, I would say that the big money helps the bull cycle because we know that we have more of a floor, right? We know all these institutions want to get in, so you got to assume that they're going to buy on the dips, which gives us a more solid floor. Yes, I hold tons of stock. So like until last year, like I never wanted to have early 2020. I was very openly, like I was like 10% crypto at the most. Then I became like 15%. Then COVID hit and I was like, maybe I'll go like 25% crypto. And now I'm over 50% crypto. But yes, I own a lot of other stuff. A lot of other things. I have real estate and, I have real estate personally, but then like I have real estate investments and, buildings that are being built. I have a stock portfolio. I have an IRA like anyone else. I've got all that stuff. It really depends on how large the position is on how I scale out, but usually 4 or 5 times at least I'll be selling. Listen, with some of these like Uniswap coins that, I'll build a position and they go up like 100 times. Like it'll take me, I'll have to sell 200 times because I will pay the fees to not move the market. So I'll sell like $5,000 at a time or $7,000 at a time instead of like I could hit the sell button and crash the entire coin 5 times in a row, but you can't do that. I will look at Link actually, because I think it's 12. It is. And I know a lot of people want to see that. But like if you're trading with any sort of size on Uniswap and stuff, I believe that you should be very respectful of the liquidity. I also have market maker, like access to market makers that sometimes will organize my positions for me because they will use your coins to make sure that the spread is tight and therefore you don't move the market at all when you buy or sell a coin. That's some advanced shit, but something I luckily have access to. Link. I don't know why this won't lock. Oh, my magnet's not on, man. First, you got like this kind of macro support here. Link, I just like, I think it looks good. I think I've said this before. It's targeting like $57 on this move, right? So I think it's fine. I just like all these wicks make it really hard to chart. Makes it look kind of like a diamond top here. Like it could drop against Bitcoin. Yeah, like something like this, this, although that cuts right through a wick, so that doesn't really count. That would be a toppy thing and you would expect to come out the side here, but really only down to here actually, because that's right there. So ignore the diamond bicycle I just drew. I mean, Link looks fine. I just don't really I don't see anything compelling. There's no pattern I can draw out of this on the Bitcoin pair that's compelling, but I really like it here on the USDT pair. This was a nice reversal, and I think it should be heading up to here. Y'all are just gonna scream the name of coins over here now, right? Because I did one. Just looking through over here. I use a couple of them. I use BlockPit, I use ZenLedger, and then after doing all of that, because it was so complicated, I hired a firm in Chicago to handle my taxes. Had to file an extension. I've been doing them for 6 months. No idea. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Also Dumb and Dumber. Sorry, just trying to look through the chat here. And it's basically just somebody. Oh, this dude won't shut up. I just put that Medi guy in timeout. I do trade gold and silver. I like silver right now. Let's take a look at that. Although we had a monster silver trade last year. If you were with me, this and then this. We were buying like $13 and targeted, sold most of it at 21, caught some of it up to like 27 or 28. And now, if you zoom in, I think that silver looks pretty good. This is all dependent on the dollar dropping, to be honest. But, I was talking about in the newsletter here, and now you're flipping the EQ of the channel. So I think you're targeting $29 again on silver. But yes, I do trade them. I do trade them. I do not medicate for my ADHD anymore. I did for years. So I never medicated when I was younger. Just powered through it, made my way through life, just kind of finding ways to mitigate it on my own, But then when I was about to get married, I felt like my wife, my wonderful, amazing wife, probably was sick of dealing with my spasticness. So I did medicate for 6 years or so. And then I started getting one of these things going on from the medication, where I would do the thing with the where I looked like I was like smoking rocks and stuff. And since I don't smoke rocks, I didn't want people to think I was smoking rocks. So then I really realized that if I just exercised a lot and drank a lot of coffee, that I could basically manage it like that. And so that's what I do. Yeah. I tried it. It was good. Like the first day that I ever took ADHD medication, Vyvanse, it was probably 10 years ago or something, 10 or 11 years ago. And so I lived in an apartment in the East Village in New York City, and it was 2 floors. So like I would work upstairs, and Emmy would work like literally at a desk right behind me. She was running her company, but she was downstairs, like working in the living room. I was upstairs, and like I took the pill in the morning. I was like, I don't know if I feel anything, bro. Like when you like eat, when people eat like weed edibles, and they're like, I don't feel anything after an hour, and then they eat another one, and 37 seconds later, they're like, seeing unicorns. So yeah, like, and she comes up, and I don't even know, like, whatever. I must have taken it at 7 o'clock in the morning, and at noon she comes upstairs, and she's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, you haven't like bothered me in 4 hours. And I had finished like a full mixtape and like 2 beats that I was working on, because I was only doing music at that time. I'm not boxing anybody. And see, I have ADD. You guys see that? But yeah, so like it really worked. It really worked very well. I'm not boxing anyone in Dubai. I would hire someone to box some people for me. But I did used to try to fight in New York City. Tried to do Golden Gloves. I used to box. That was 20 years ago, man. I'm 44 years old. I've got kids. I'm not trying to fight anybody. I'm a lover. Outside of your live streams, videos, and newsletter, how much time do you spend working on your own investments? Very little. Very little. I've got a plan. Fisticuffs. If I fought, I would do it like this. I would make that face too. Yeah, I don't really need to, but I don't spend much time working on my own investments, hour a day in between everything. But I try to take things that are longer term. I don't have to worry about it, No, I love Jason Williams. I'm not fighting him. I love that guy. I use RSI sometimes, but listen, I've used every single indicator in the history of indicators pretty much, I feel like, and they're fine. But like the more you trade, the less shit you want on your chart. That's the thing, is like people look at my charts like it's simple. It really, people are, I get those criticisms like, you don't really understand GA. No, you just start to realize that like none of it's going to tell you where price is going. So just do the simplest shit that works and go with that, simplest thing that works. So I don't personally check on-chain analysis often, but anyone who's a subscriber to the newsletter knows I have a partnership with Into the Block. They write a on-chain analysis every Wednesday for my newsletter. So like they just send me stuff that gives me an idea. And so it gives me sort of context for my technical analysis. So it's great. I kind of don't have to do it on my own. Is the Bitcoin bull rally starting now? I mean, I think the Bitcoin bull rally already started. Do you mean like short term? Maybe it's like finishing bottoming here. That's possible. And this looks pretty good. But like, is the rally starting? I think it started at 10,000, 20,000. And I think that, maybe we're third, fourth inning of the first cycle, but top of the first inning for the macro cycle. I think it's going to $1 million. I think maybe we get to 200 something on this, but who knows? I don't know. That's really up to you, man. How much time do you have to manage your coins? How long did it take you to achieve financial independence? It's a hard question because I basically lived like a homeless person, but was financially independent for a very long time. I mean, I've told the story many times. So I went to an Ivy League university, like the University of Pennsylvania, Ivy League degree. Could have probably gone and worked on Wall Street. Had friends at Solomon Smith Barney who were like, "Yeah, you got a job if you want to come take it." And I was like, "I'm going to go do an internet startup." And we had a failed internet startup, and then I DJ'd and did a million things. But like there was a point 5 or 6 years after I graduated from an Ivy League school where I had no money and I was DJing like one night a week at a shitty bar in New York City. And my friend who was a video editor hired me at his company to deliver packages in the snow, like by hand. So for months, for like $500 a week living in New York City on New York City rent, I was delivering packages to get by, So I should not say I lived like a homeless person. That's wild exaggeration, but I struggled, So I was always financially independent in that regard, but it was hard. And I've always had a very supportive family, college, everything. So you can't pretend, but yeah, it was hard. Oh, who's here? Plan B. That was the shitty bar I was DJing for $300 a night at that point. See, people are here. Then I started doing it a lot more. But yeah, man, I struggled hard. I didn't get out of, credit card debt and stuff until 2008 when in 2006, I booked a tour in Japan and paid off everything. But I graduated college in 99, so that was 7 years. That's it. Yeah. I didn't go to Wharton. I went to the university. I was in the College of Arts and Sciences. But I took classes at Wharton, but I graduated in 1999. On Avenue B and 10th. Look at you. You guys know exactly where Plan B is. Now Blind Barber. The guys that own that are close friends of mine. I DJ'd at all their places. Run out of time. I promised somebody above who said Clan Eater. I found the video just now while we were talking. I'm a good multitasker. This was the NFT. I'm gonna part with this NFT. This was 8 parts, but we put it all together. There's the song that I produced years ago that went viral. I took, it was a whole project called Ball and Oates. So I took 5 Hall & Oates songs. I took them completely apart. I replayed every single instrument and every single part myself and remixed the beats. And then I took like known hip hop acapellas and put it on top. So this one I took Maneater and put Wu-Tang on top. So I'll play it for you guys. We'll rock it real quick. I think this will work. You guys hear that? This is the NFT called RMA. Like 8 pieces. Before NFTs blew up. You guys hear the music? Basically, play it on that.
I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side. Staying alive was no job, had second hands. Moms bounced on old men, so then we moved to Shaolin Land. A young youth, you're rocking the go-to. No goose, only way I began to G-York was drug loot. And let's start it like this, son. Rolling with this one and that one, pulling out gas for fun. But it was just a dream for the team who was a fiend. Started smoking moves at 16 and running up big gates and doing hits by high stakes, making my way off fire escapes. No question, I was speed for cracks and weed. The combination made my eyes bleed. No question, I would flow off and try to get the dough off. Sticking up right boys on board court. My life got no better. Same damn low sweater. Times is rough and tough like leather. Figured out I went the wrong route, so I got with a sick tight click and went all out. Catching keys from cross seas, rolling in MPVs. Every week we made 40 G's. Yo, brothers respect mine. I hear the tech now. Bow, move from the gate, mad.
There's the hollow note. So I played all the instruments again.
Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough.
Watching away. Wish she'd sit with you, but her eyes are on the door.
It's been 22 long, hard years, I'm still struggling. Survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on arrival. A piece I can shape of the streets to stay awake to the ways of the world. Deep, a man with a dream, with plans to make cream was fail. I went to jail at the age of 15, a young buck selling drugs and such, who never had much, trying to get a clutch of what I could not touch. The court played me short, now I face incarceration. Facing, no one upstate's my destination. Handcuffed and back of a bus, 40 of us. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough. But as the world turns, I learned life is hell. Living in the world no different from a cell. Every day
All
I
this
skate
music is
from
on my
church,
YouTube
giving
channel,
tips,
actually.
selling bass, smoking bowls in the staircase. Though I don't know why I told you smoke cess. I guess that's the time when I'm not depressed, but I'm still depressed. And I ask, what's your worth? Ready to give up, so I seek the old earth to explain. Working hard can help you maintain, to learn to overcome the heartaches and pain. You got stick up kids, corrupt cops and crack rocks, stray shots, all of them lock the stays hot. Leave it up to me while I be living proof to kick the truth to the young black youth. But shorties running wild, smoking cess, drinking beer, and ain't trying to hear what I'm kicking in his ear. Neglected for now, but yo, it got to be accepted. That what? The life is hectic. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough.
This is a famous artist named Okara who made the art.
Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough.
Yeah, that was it. So there's like that was a 5-song project. So that was just one of them. That was the only one that we made into an NFT. But yeah, I took all the parts, did the saxophone actually on a keyboard, stripped it down, made a hip hop beat, threw Wu-Tang on top of it. All of these, you can see it right in the middle. Ball & Oates. I made like a ton of these. Ball & Oates, Trill Collins, Skeetwood Mac, Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Skittles, Triller, all Michael Jackson, and then all my mixtapes. That's all the art from the projects that I had. I was a much bigger DJ than crypto person for a while there. But guys, hope that song sent you off well. I appreciate you all being here. Yeah, scroll down. All that, I used Ableton. Scroll down, and a lot of the music is down there on my YouTube channel, secretly hiding from before I was a crypto dude. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace.